notorious street gang. A 6-year investigation by local, state, and federal officials called Operation Headache has resulted in the indictments of 39 suspected members of the Gangster Disciples street gang. And reputed gang leader Larry Hoover has been transferred from a state prison to federal custody to face the charges. Channel 2's Mike Parker is live at the Dirksen Federal Building with the latest. Mike.
Marianne, according to U.S. Attorney James Burns, the hierarchy of the drug-dealing Gangster Disciples drug operation has now been decimated by these 39 indictments today. We have, Burns said today, cut off the head of the snake. The federal case against the gang grew out of this raid in April. Federal agents raided 2 businesses linked to imprisoned gang leader Larry Hoover and his wife. In addition to finding $67,000 in cash, investigators got their first look at file cabinets full of records and documents. What they found helped lead to the indictments today of gang leader Larry Hoover and 38 of his lieutenants.
They have had a 25-year conspiracy going in this area that is clearly charged in the indictment, and the heart of the conspiracy was to distribute coke, crack, heroin, and marijuana.
Although he's been in prison on murder charges, authorities say Larry Hoover has been the gang's primary policymaker, and that policy was enforced through violence, physical beatings, up to and including murder. And firms like those targeted in that April raid were apparently involved. Narcotics profits were laundered, the indictments say, through legitimate businesses, and the gang's drug dealers were allegedly ordered to pay political money to the gang's political arm, the group known as 21st Century Vote. A leader of that group, former aldermanic candidate Wallace Gator Bradley, today decried the indictments.
I think the people in the community need to see that this is a continuation of a movement against any black organization that stand up for the betterment of their people.
One of the 39 suspects indicted today is Chicago police officer Sonia Irwin. Today, Police Superintendent Matt Rodriguez would say only that she was part of the conspiracy and is expected to surrender. Rodriguez would not comment on a report that Sonia Irwin was in fact living with the number 2 leader of the Gangster Disciples. So far, 22 of the 39 suspects are now in custody. The others are being sought. Mike Parker reporting live from the Dirksen Federal Building. Bill, back to you.
Well, Michael, Larry Hoover is not exactly a name known in most households, but cops, the FBI, and community leaders know him as the powerful leader of the Gangster Disciples. Hoover is a convicted murderer serving a 150 to 250-year prison term. But Hoover told Channel 2 News that he changed and wants to help young black men. Hoover is largely responsible for a summit that produced a gang truce. The rate of violence dropped. Now some community leaders say Hoover is a scapegoat for prosecutors.
It's a shame that a person that has so much influence, positive influence in the community, is being, I would think, his true story is not being told.
Despite Hoover's alleged help with the gang summit, his parole has been denied 13 times.
Law enforcement officials hope Operation Headache proves to be a fatal headache from which the Gangster Disciples will not recover. Many decent, hard-working people in Disciple neighborhoods are applauding today's raids and indictments. But just as many question if they'll really do any good. Channel 2's Sylvia Gomez joins us with that part of the story. Sylvia?
Marianne, the reaction has been interesting. In fact, a lot of people are indeed applauding what happened today, but sadly they admit they don't believe anything is going to change. Oh yeah, they believe that for a couple of days, maybe a GD member won't be selling drugs on this corner. Maybe for a couple of days, that same member won't be intimidating somebody on that corner. But ultimately, things are going to cool down. Maybe by next week, maybe by next month, it'll be business as usual. You look around some of the neighborhoods the Gangster Disciples rule and you see life goes on. Children still play, Double Dutch still swings. But even the children like Kenyatta Washington know about the GDs and the destruction that follows them.
They teaching these little young kids around here how to sell drugs, how to do drugs. They don't care once they selling people that stuff. They don't know what it can do to them.
There isn't even a time many here at Stateway Gardens can recall life without GDs or life without reputed leader Larry Hoover. It's the mothers who most fear him. It's the mothers who are the most resigned to his power, even if it is from behind bars.
They're gonna always honor Hoover. These boys, they're gonna listen to Hoover regardless, wherever he at. They still gonna be out here for him. Doing his work and whatever it is, that he want them to do, that's just what they're gonna do.
So Hoover's still king?
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be like that. I guess until he dies.
It's not fair. Y'all just taking them off for nothing. Them my folks.
He's one of them, he says, a gangster disciple defending the alleged leaders busted today. What none of us understands, he claims, is that drugs and violence are necessary evils, that Robert Taylor homes need the disciples. And there are those who agree.
Well, what about all the drugs and the violence?
We getting it from y'all. We getting that from we don't create, we don't grow it. That get delivered here, and we just get it out here, and that's the only way we can survive.
You know, they say selling drugs and everything. You know, that's a way of life. That's a way a lot of people feeding their kids. You know, if it wouldn't be for drugs, a lot of kids wouldn't even eat.
Now, some even say the Gangster Disciples are a positive influence. All admit, Bill, they are a powerful influence, and it's going to take more than just one sweep to take them out.
Thanks, Sylvia. So what does the crackdown mean to the people who live there? The executive director of the Chicago Crime Commission says it's good news in the short term.
I think there'll be a noticeable drop for a while in violent gang-related crime. In the last 4 months, this gang is responsible for 42 murders in Chicago, just in 4 months, in just one gang. 16 shootings where the people didn't die, the victims didn't die. And they're present in 22 states, 66 cities, 80 counties in Illinois.
But in the long run, Kirkpatrick says he expects violent crime to resume an escalating curve. Even with today's gang sweep, the question remains, will the arrests really curb crime? We'll take a look at that issue tonight at 10.